before you do anything else, make sure you subscribe to In the Bayou podcast if you haven't already. Now let's get into it.
Well, another change has come recently, bro. You retired after a long 12 seasons, bro.
Yeah.
3 Pro Bowls, some All-Pros, All-Decade Hall of Fame team, Super Bowl ring.
I always thought I'd play like 20 years.
Hey, bro.
You know,
hey, that's a long
it's a long time, you know. But I think too, man, like people that know me and the people that have been around me, I think they truly understand like my passion for the game.
Right.
I just love football, man.
Right.
I love the locker room. I love teammates. I love the idea of working with coaches. You know what I mean? And I'd probably say one of the biggest joys though is, you know, helping younger guys kind of reach their full potential. Right? Because I had those type of mentors for me when I came in the league, right? And I had Pat, you know, Larry Fitzgerald and Calais Campbell, Darnell Dockett,
Legends,
Rashad Johnson, Gerard Powers. Like I had some really good dudes that really showed me the way. And so for me, man, I look back on it and I say, you know, I feel like I did a really good job as far as just, you know, impacting the people around me, the teams I played for, you know, and the community I played for. But to kind of answer your question, man, like I was probably just as shocked as everyone else.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I mean,
I know I was shocked.
I know you was shocked, you know, and I think a lot of people didn't understand it because I left like $8 million on the table.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but for only like 4 or 5 months of work, you know. But I think when you feel something in your spirit, I think it's best for you to kind of like take a step back,
that's true.
understand what's kind of being, you know, spoken to you.
I wish you could have just like switched me out with you, like just for those 4 months.
Yeah. You could have just made that $8 million.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, nah, man, for real. You know, but like I said, I had a great career, man. I had a great career. A lot of ups and downs. You know, some challenges that I had to overcome, especially with injuries and you know, just constantly moving, playing for 4 different teams. Right. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. You know, I would not trade it for the world.
So
but
I gotta ask you this though, bro. Did you get any other calls from any other teams? Because I mean, if I'm a GM and I'm like, this guy like he retired, I'm calling, hey, what's going on? What do you need? How can I get you here? Like,
well, I got a few calls, but they weren't from like that place. You know, I think a lot of the calls I had was, you know, guys trying to get me to come on their coaching staff and be a coach. Okay. I think the issue with me is that, you know, once I retired, I think people, especially coaches and administration and guys and executives in the league, I think they just have such great respect for me that I think they really just respected my decision. You know what I mean? Right. And to be able to walk away on my own 2 feet, healthy, right? Like that meant a lot to me. You know, because I saw guys like just hold on too long. You know, and it's just not a pretty sight. And for me, man, too, it's, you know, I've always played football at a certain level. Yeah. Right? And I think the older you get, it's hard to kind of maintain that type of level of play. And for me, man, like I would just be doing myself a disservice. I'll be doing my children a disservice. Anybody that really, you know, understands me, you know, I'll just be doing them a disservice if I'm not 100% Tyrann Mathieu. And so, or even 100% the Honey Badger. You know what I mean? So I think when you're able to kind of see that and understand that, I think it's just best for you to kind of make a decision and just move on.
Like, now that football is over, like what do you want? What you want to be known as? Like, you want them to call you Tyrann, because I know the Honey Badgers out there. You know, it's kids, countless amount of kids that run up and is gonna always say, "Hey, the Honey Badger, look at."
Listen, man. Outside of just, you know, being a good dad, you know, I always want people to remember me for, you know, how I made them feel outside of like the football arena. You know, and so, you know, even when I meet people, you know, just throughout the week, right? You know, a lot of people are, that's what sticks to them. It's like, man, like you do such great things in the community, like keep it up. Like football is like the after conversation. Right. You know what I mean? And so I think just being able to kind of, like just have that type of impact on community, man, that's what it's all about. And it's a great responsibility.
It's great.
You know, because I remember, 15 years ago when I was at LSU and, I had that same type of power. I had that same type of influence. And, I just it didn't work out for me. Right. And so that was just a valuable lesson, a big learning lesson, for me, man, to just always keep faith, family, and community at the forefront, because you really don't understand like who's watching you and what type of impact you really having on people.
Yeah, but I could say you've been doing a great job with that, bro. Like it's countless amount of kids, autographs, pictures. I mean, anywhere you at, bro, somebody is walking up on us and asking for a picture or autograph. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, you definitely been doing a great job with that, bro. But we sit here now, like I mentioned, before, it's a long list of accolades, You look back at your career and, like, what are you most proud of, like, as far as your career?
I'm most proud of? I think the thing that I'm most proud of, man, is just my consistency. I think for the last 13 years, man, I try to show up each and every day. And just be a good teammate, a good football player. I think the people you meet along the way too stands out, man. Definitely. Like, cause had I not been in the locker room with Larry Fitzgerald and Patrick Peterson, I don't know what type of leader or player, I would be, and so I think like them helping me lay my foundation, like that meant the most to me, because that allowed me to play, 10 plus years, it allowed me to kind of, play for multiple organizations and, and I think for every team I ever played on, I was the captain,
That's huge.
And, any city, Yeah. And I remember I went to Houston. I was in Houston like 3 days. Yeah. And Bill O'Brien was like ready to give me the keys to the team, And I'm on a team with, this is Deshaun Watson. He was in his prime. And Hopkins and J.J. Watt, So for him to be like, nah, like I want this to be your team. Like that really meant a lot to me. And I think that's really what kind of helped me, propelled me to Kansas City. Right. I think they were kind of able to see, what type of leader I was, even amongst alphas like JJ, and I think that really kind of intrigued the Chiefs, and I think that's why, ultimately, that's probably why they ended up outbidding the Texans, because I really thought I was going to stay in Houston. But, obviously, man, Coach Reed and Spags, man, they like put on the full court press. And, I remember Spags hit me up, and he just saying, man, like this is going to be your defense. Right. And I remember what that kind of did for my spirit, because, you remember before that, we're talking about year 6, 7. But before that, man, I had my ACL twice. I had 2 shoulder injuries, thumb injury. And so, I was kind of starting to think like, man, maybe I need to find something to do outside of football. So I was really, really, proud of myself, man, that I just stayed focused and I didn't give up. You know what I mean? Because after I was able to kind of endure those injuries, like my career really began to kind of take off, and started playing in big games, playing in Super Bowls, all decade teams and all pros, and but I think that whole experience, man, was able to kind of propel me to that.
Yeah. So like that's what I want to ask you. What does that Super Bowl win rank? And what's one thing you wish you was able to accomplish, like while you were playing football?
Man, the Super Bowl. I mean, the Super Bowl ranked number 1. I mean, that's why you play the game.
That's why you play the game.
That's why you play the game, man. To be a champion. And like so much goes into it. So much goes into it. I remember the run we had in KC, man. It's just so much work, and I think like ultimately, man, like that's what it takes to be successful, So, but yeah, man, like Coach Spaz, Coach Reed, man, like, I mean that was a great moment in time, man, because like we knew we put the work in. So anytime we showed up for a game, like it was always fun. Yeah.